Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm Megan.
And this is Special Collections Roadshow.
Where we'll be pulling artifacts from the archives
And sharing their stories with you. So what do we have here today?
We have a very exciting piece here with us today. This is Louis Tway's housewife. So it would have been folded up in this manner in a soldier's pack. But then when he needed it, when he needed to mend clothing with the extra yarn and thread, needles, and extra patches of cloth that would have been in here, he would have unfolded it and had laying out like this.
Oh, look at that. There are like little pockets in there.
Yeah,
too.
there are a number of little pockets to put things in. Stuff, like I said, those extra bits of cloth and yarn, needles, and things like that. So.
Right. So what's it made out of?
It would have been made out of extra cloth that would have been lying around a soldier's home. It would have likely have been made by his family members, so they would have used that extra cloth lying around the house.
So it had a lot of meaning.
It did, a lot of sentimental value. These would have been made by sweethearts and wives, mothers, grandmothers, sisters, so they had a lot of meaning for soldiers to carry with them in the field.
Yeah. So do we have anything interesting? I know we don't really have any needles left.
Yeah, we don't have any extra bits of cloth or needles, but what we do have that's in here that's really neat is this little guy somewhere in here. Here we go. This little red piece of felt is a Corps badge. So Louis Tway kind of stuck this into his housewife and would have had that in there in case his Corps badge that would have been sewn onto his kepi was, had fallen off or something like that. So really neat that we have that little bit of history in there.
I love that. Which Corps was that?
This would have been First Corps.
Yep. That's what he.
So that's the Corps that he would have belonged to, and he would have had that on his hat, like I said. So.
Yeah, neat. So these men at the time actually knew how to sew and could mend their own clothing, right?
Yes, they did. It was a necessary skill for a lot of these men. They didn't have their wives or their sisters around to hand off a torn shirt or a torn pair of pants to get them all mended up. So they needed to be able to do that themselves because they were only issued uniforms every few months. And Union soldiers in particular, Louis Tway was a Union soldier, they weren't allowed to just kind of pick up pants anywhere or a jacket anywhere. There was standard issue for them. Confederates had that as well, but at the end of the war that got a little bit trickier as supplies kind of dwindled. But
Confederates also did have these.
Yes, they did. So they would have needed to mend their uniforms as well. So these were pretty standard for a lot of soldiers to carry with them in their packs during the war.
Yeah, and this is particularly well preserved. Yeah?
Yes, it is.
What would you say the price is?
Well, it's difficult to price anything. In my opinion, history is priceless.